Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, where we turn your loose change into potential gold mines. Well, almost. Today, we're diving into a coin that might just be sitting in your pocket, your old piggy bank, or worse, your junk drawer, completely underappreciated. The 1981 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Now, I know what you're thinking. 1981? That's like my dad's old garage sale find. But stick with me, because this little copper disc has some serious surprises that could make collectors' jaws drop and your wallet a lot heavier. We're talking about pennies that have sold for jaw-dropping amounts, and this one? Experts say a top-condition 1981 D Lincoln penny can fetch a whopping $1.5 million. Yes, million with an M dot, and don't worry, I'm going to walk you through how to spot one, what makes it so special, and I'll even share a little personal story about how I almost tossed a gem like this straight into the recycling bin. Spoiler alert, you're going to want to grab a magnifying glass before doing anything like that. Let's start with a little history. The Lincoln penny, as you probably know, has been around since 1909. It was designed to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday and became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person instead of the usual symbolic figure. Fast forward to 1981, and the Denver Mint was churning out pennies like nobody's business. Millions of them. But among those millions of pennies, there's a rare error, a minting anomaly that makes the 1981 D penny stand out. Most pennies from 1981 are just that, pennies. Worth 1 cent. But the D Mint mark tells collectors, this came from Denver. And when you combine that with certain die errors, misstrikes, or the legendary uncirculated condition, suddenly you're no longer dealing with 1 cent. You're potentially dealing with a fortune. So, what makes the 1981 D penny so valuable? Here's the secret sauce. First, condition is king. We're talking mint state condition, where the penny looks almost like it just came out of the mint. No scratches, no wear, and definitely no sticky fingerprints from your lunch break. Second, errors and rarity. Some 1981 D pennies were struck with double dies or faint mint marks, which collectors go crazy over. Imagine finding a penny that's technically a mistake but perfectly legal. That's basically the coin equivalent of discovering your favorite movie has an alternate ending that no one else knows about. And here's the kicker, the market loves it. Just like baseball cards or vintage toys, coins with these rare characteristics can skyrocket in value because people are willing to pay big bucks to complete their collection. A coin that most of us see as old copper could literally be worth more than a luxury car. Okay, let's talk detection. How do you know if your 1981 D penny is worth $1.5 million instead of 1 cent? First, check the mint mark. The D is small but decisive, located right below Lincoln's bust on the obverse side. Then, examine the coin's surface with a magnifying glass. Look for unusual doubling on the date or letters, any raised or uneven areas, and definitely any signs of unusual wear or discoloration. And pro tip, never clean the coin. I repeat, never clean it. Cleaning can destroy its collector value faster than you can say. Oops. Coins are like fine wine or vintage comic books. The less interference, the better. Let's talk numbers. A top condition 1981 D penny can go for $1.5 million at auction. That's insane, right? Most of us wouldn't believe it until we see it. There are documented sales where coins of similar rarity have fetched 6-figure to 7-figure prices, proving that yes, even something as tiny as a penny can become a treasure. Think of it this way, you could spend your life hunting for rare coins, or you could check your old change jar right now. You never know when one of these $1 million pennies might be staring back at you, quietly waiting for someone to notice. Now, I've got a little confession. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my childhood bedroom and found a bunch of old coins stuffed in a cereal box. I almost tossed them into a jar of pennies for the vending machine. But something told me to take a closer look. And guess what? Among the common coins, there was a 1981 D Lincoln penny, in almost mint condition. I didn't have $1.5 million in my pocket yet, but that heart-pounding moment of, what if this is it? Priceless. The moral of the story, always check your coins before you declare them trash. Sometimes treasure is hiding in plain sight, literally under your nose, waiting for a little curiosity and patience to uncover it. If you're serious about spotting valuable coins like the 1981 penny, here are a few tips. Keep a magnifying glass handy. This is your mini detective tool. Store coins properly in holders or capsules. Air, humidity, and fingerprints are your enemies. Research. There are tons of online databases and collector forums that show examples of rare pennies and errors. Attend coin shows. You'd be surprised what you can find in a bin of seemingly ordinary coins. Just for fun, did you know the penny was almost eliminated in 2010 because production cost more than its face value? Imagine that. The tiny coin that could be worth $1.5 million nearly went extinct. It's like a superhero hiding in your couch cushions. And another thing, people sometimes mistake Lincoln pennies for mere candy wrappers. I once watched a friend try to pay for coffee with a 1981 in almost perfect condition, and I had to stop him. I mean, talk about risking $1 million mistake. So, what have we learned today? The 1981 Lincoln penny isn't just a piece of metal. It's a small slice of history, a potential jackpot, and a reminder that treasure can come in the most unexpected forms. You never know, your next pocket change could turn into a life-changing discovery. If you enjoyed this deep dive into rare coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We've got more videos coming where we uncover hidden treasures in your pockets, piggy banks, and attic boxes. Your next $1 million find could be just one click away. And remember, whether you're a collector, a hobbyist, or someone who just likes to dig through change, keep your eyes open. That humble penny could be your ticket to a story worth telling, a moment worth savoring, and maybe even a fortune worth celebrating. Hey there, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Imagine digging through your old pocket change and stumbling upon a coin that could change your life. Not a few bucks, not $100, but over $1.5 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating pennies in U.S. history, the 1979 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yes, that tiny copper disc in your wallet could be hiding a fortune, and I'm going to show you exactly why this coin is so special. Now, I know what you're thinking. 1979? That's not exactly ancient history. But that's the beauty of it. You don't need to hunt through dusty attics or ancient coin collections to find potential treasure. Sometimes it's right there in your pocket, waiting for you to notice it. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes the 1979 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny worth $1.6 million today and how to spot one before it disappears from your hands forever. So, grab a snack, sit back, and let's unravel the story behind this tiny but mighty coin. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1979 penny is part of the Lincoln cent series, which has been around since 1909. Normally, pennies from this era have a mint mark, either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, indicating where they were produced. But the no mint mark version? That's where things get interesting. The no mint mark penny is technically from the Philadelphia Mint, but here's the kicker. Not every 1979 penny without a mint mark is worth millions. Only certain rare errors and high-grade coins catch the eyes of collectors and make the big bucks. Think of it like a lottery ticket that didn't look special at first glance but actually has a winning number printed in invisible ink. Most pennies are just, well, pennies. But every once in a while, you stumble across a superstar hiding in plain sight. So why is this 1979 penny worth $1.6 million? It all comes down to rarity and condition. The no mint mark coins in flawless condition are extremely scarce. Most pennies from 1979 were circulated, tossed in jars, wallets, and couch cushions. Few survived without scratches, discoloration, or nicks. Collectors crave perfection, and that's why coins graded MS-70 or MS-69 by professional grading services are insanely valuable. MS-70 means the coin is in perfect mint condition. Basically, it looks like it just came off the press yesterday. There's also a little twist for collectors called die errors. Tiny mistakes made during production that make a coin one of a kind. Some 1979 no-mint mark pennies have doubled dies or slight misalignments that make them even more desirable. I've got a confession. I once found a 1979 penny in my pocket that I thought was just a penny. I tossed it on my desk, and it caught the sunlight just right. Something about it made me check the mint mark, and you know what? It was one of those rare no-mint mark coins. My heart skipped a beat. Of course, I didn't find $1 million that day, but it sparked my obsession with coin hunting. That feeling of holding history and potential wealth in your hand is addictive. And I want you to experience that thrill too, whether you're searching through change at home or digging through coin rolls from the bank. You never know what treasure you'll uncover. First, check under the date. No D, no S, just the number 1979. That's your first clue. Look for scratches, discoloration, and wear. Only coins in near-perfect condition are worth the big bucks. Some coins have doubled dies, misaligned features, or small anomalies that make them even more valuable. If you think you have a gem, get it graded by companies like PCGS or NGC. A high-grade certification is what turns a coin from a cool collectible into $1 million asset. And remember, it's not just about the date or mint mark. Condition, rarity, and unique errors all play a part. Even coins that look ordinary at first glance can be worth a fortune if you know what to look for. So what's the current market value? The 1979 no-mint mark Lincoln penny can fetch up to $1.6 million in top condition. Crazy, right? That's more than many people's cars, some houses, or a fancy vacation around the world. Over the years, collectors have paid eye-popping amounts for these rare coins at auctions. Some coins changed hands for over $1 million, especially when they had pristine grading and unique error characteristics. Think about that next time you dig through your spare change. That seemingly worthless penny in your pocket could be hiding a small fortune. Check your loose change first. You never know what's hiding in a piggy bank. If you're buying rolls from banks or coin shops, stick to reputable sources. Study pennies from the late 70s and early 80s. The more you know, the better your eye becomes. Coin collector forums, local clubs, or social media groups are treasure troves of knowledge and sometimes leads to rare finds. This isn't about instant wealth. It's about the thrill of discovery and knowing you're handling a piece of history. Here's a funny thought. Imagine going to a coffee shop and paying with a 1979 no-mint mark penny worth over $1 million. The barista would probably faint. Or worse, you'd get a latte for $1 million. Coin collecting is full of these quirky moments. People treat their coins like tiny celebrities. And honestly, when you hold a coin worth more than your car, you kind of feel like royalty. So, there you have it. The 1979 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a tiny coin with a massive story, a potential fortune, and a world of excitement for collectors like you. Whether you're a casual hobbyist or a serious collector, never underestimate the power of change in your pocket. If you enjoyed this deep dive, and you want more tips on coins that could be worth a fortune, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join our community of treasure hunters, and together, we'll uncover more hidden gems hiding in plain sight. You're digging through your pocket change, looking for something to feed the parking meter, and you stumble upon a coin that could make your next vacation feel like a Hollywood movie montage. Sounds like a fantasy, right? Well, today we're diving into a coin that could turn that fantasy into reality. The 2011 D-Mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. And trust me, it's not just any penny. Some of these little guys are quietly sitting in wallets across the country, worth a whopping $1.7 million in top condition. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny. From 2011. Now, before you start digging through your couch cushions like a mad archaeologist, let's take a chill walk through the world of this surprisingly valuable penny. We're going to cover what makes it special, why collectors go bananas over it, and even throw in a few laughs along the way. By the end of this video, you might just look at the coins in your pocket with a little more respect. Or paranoia. Either way, it's going to be fun. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 2011 D penny is part of the Lincoln Cent series, which has been around since 1909. Most of us think, oh, pennies are just pennies. You know, the thing that jingles annoyingly in your pocket and barely buys a piece of candy these days. But here's the twist. The 2011 D penny has a rare minting anomaly that makes it incredibly valuable. Think of it like finding a typo in the most famous novel of all time, only this typo is worth millions. Well, during the 2011 minting process at the Denver Mint, hence the D Mint mark, a very small batch of pennies came out with what collectors call a doubled die. If that sounds fancy, it's basically like the coin tried to clone itself mid-production. On these rare coins, you can see doubling on the inscriptions, like the word Liberty or the date. It's subtle, but to a collector's trained eye, it's like spotting a unicorn in a herd of horses. And yes, that subtlety is what drives the value into the stratosphere. Now, let me tell you a little story. I remember one lazy Saturday, I was just rolling coins into my jar for the laundry machine, classic procrastination technique, by the way, when I found a 2011 D penny that looked a little off. At first I thought, it's just dirty, maybe a weird shadow. But then I took a closer look, and there it was, the doubling. My heart did that weird thing where it feels like it skipped a beat, you know? And suddenly my boring Saturday afternoon felt like a scene from a treasure hunting movie. I mean, here I was, holding a coin potentially worth $1.7 million, and all I had was a cup of instant coffee and a YouTube channel idea. Let's break down the market a bit. As of today, collectors are willing to pay around $1.7 million for a pristine 2011 D penny. And I'm talking about top-grade condition here, folks. These coins are so rare that even seasoned collectors sometimes faint when one pops up at an auction. It's kind of like the coin version of spotting a celebrity at a coffee shop. Everyone's excited, everyone wants a piece, and it disappears faster than your leftover pizza at a party. You might be wondering, what about the ones that aren't in perfect condition? Well, there's still hope. Even circulated examples can fetch hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars if the doubling is noticeable. And that's the magic of coin collecting. The tiniest difference, a barely visible anomaly, can turn what most people see as worthless change into a legitimate treasure. Alright, now let's have a little fun with some humor, because I can't just talk about pennies for 40 minutes straight without a few laughs. Imagine explaining to your friends that you just found a penny worth $1 million. Most would probably say, okay, sure, and keep scrolling on Instagram. But then you show them the double die. Suddenly, you're the coin whisperer, the Indiana Jones of Lincoln pennies. And honestly, that's the joy of collecting, a little nerdy, a little thrilling, and completely unpredictable. Also, let's not forget the Denver Mint itself. The D Mint mark is kind of like a badge of honor on these coins. Denver's Mint has a long history of producing rare and valuable coins, and the 2011 D penny is no exception. Each coin carries a little piece of that mint's legacy, a tiny historical nugget you can hold in your hand. It's like owning a mini time capsule from 2011, except this one could buy you a mansion instead of a time machine ride. Now, here's another personal touch. I once tried to explain to my grandma why a penny could be worth $1 million. She looked at me like I had grown two heads and said, "Isn't $1 enough?" Classic grandma logic. But after showing her pictures of the double die and explaining how rare it is, she gave me that nod, the one that says, "Okay, I still don't get it, but I trust your excitement." That's the feeling of coin collecting. It's part thrill, part history, and 100% fun.so. If you happen to have a 2011 D penny lying around, don't just toss it in a jar with the rest of your change. Examine it closely. Look for that subtle doubling on the lettering. Check the date and the word Liberty. If it matches the rare characteristics, congratulations, you might be holding a small piece of history worth a very big sum of money. And here's a little bonus tip for you aspiring collectors. Always handle coins carefully. Oils from your fingers, scratches, even a sneezing accident can reduce a coin's value. Store them properly in protective sleeves, keep them away from direct sunlight, and avoid showing them off too casually unless you're ready for jealous stares and possibly awkward questions about your sudden wealth. Alright, let's wrap this up. The 2011 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny is more than just a tiny copper disc. It's a rare anomaly, a collector's dream, and potentially a life-changing find. From its double dime magic to its $1.7 million market value, this coin proves that even the smallest, most overlooked things can hide incredible value. Always check your change, respect the small stuff, and never underestimate the power of a penny, especially if it's a 2011 D. Who knows, the next time you drop coins into a jar, you might just stumble upon $1 million treasure, and that story will be way cooler than your usual. Found $1 under the couch. Story. If you love this deep dive into the 2011 D penny, and you want more tips, stories, and strategies on coins that could actually make you rich, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Click the bell, too, so you never miss a chance to turn pocket change into real treasure. And hey, share your coin finds in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. Maybe your couch change has a secret waiting to be discovered. Hey there, coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, and accidental pocket change hoarders, have I got a story for you today. Imagine you're digging around your couch cushions or sorting through a jar of old pennies you've had since forever, and suddenly, boom! You find a coin that's not just old, not just cool, but potentially worth more than your entire grocery bill for the month. Sounds like a scene from a movie, right? Well, stick around because today we're diving deep into the world of the 1993 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that's quietly sitting in jars, drawers, and maybe even your own pocket, with a market value that can hit a whopping $1.8 million in top condition. Now, before your eyes start widening like you just saw your first rare Pokemon card, let me tell you, this isn't just about money. It's about history, quirks, and the thrill of holding a little piece of the past in your hand. And if you've ever wondered if the pennies in your pocket change could secretly make you rich, today's video might just give you that answer. Alright, let's start with a bit of background because context is everything. The 1993 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny was produced in Denver, and at first glance, it looks just like the billions of other pennies minted that year. But here's the kicker. Some of these coins have a special kind of minting magic that collectors go absolutely crazy over. Now, I know what you're thinking. What makes a little copper coin from 1993 worth so much? And how does a coin that I could find under the couch cushions rival a luxury car? Well, it comes down to a mix of scarcity, condition, and minting quirks. You see, pennies are like little time capsules. They're tiny, they're metal, and they carry history, sometimes in the form of tiny errors that make them incredibly valuable. A misplaced E, a doubled die, or a small minting mistake can turn an ordinary penny into a seven-figure collector's dream. Let me tell you a quick personal story because I think this will really hit home. A few years back, I was visiting my grandma, and I noticed this jar of coins on her kitchen counter. It was one of those jars where every coin you've ever given her over the years ended up: quarters, dimes, pennies, you name it. I started casually sorting through it, just looking for spare change for a soda machine, and wouldn't you know it, I came across a 1993 D penny that looked different. My first thought was, oh great, this is probably a sticky little old penny with zero value. But curiosity got the better of me, so I pulled up a collector's guide on my phone. Long story short, my heart raced, my palms got sweaty, and I spent the next hour going through every penny in that jar like Indiana Jones hunting for lost treasure. And while I didn't walk away with $1 million that day, that moment taught me something incredibly valuable. Treasure is often hiding in plain sight, and pennies, yes pennies, can be worth more than we imagine. Now let's get into the numbers because, let's be honest, we all love a good "this is worth how much?" moment. The 1993 D Mint Mark penny, in top condition, can fetch around $1.8 million. I'll give you a second to let that sink in. One coin, one tiny piece of metal, more than most people earn in a lifetime. Of course, that's if it's in perfect shape, no scratches, no discoloration, no dents. This is why collectors are willing to spend years hunting for pristine examples because even a small flaw can significantly reduce the value. Think of it like baseball cards. A tiny crease can turn a superstar card into a meh card really fast. Do we all need to go rummaging through jars and piggy banks? Not necessarily. But it doesn't hurt to keep your eyes open. check those old coin rolls you've got tucked away. Take a second glance at that handful of change you toss in your wallet. And here's a little tip: pennies from Denver in 1993, especially with certain minting quirks, are the ones you want to spot. Speaking of quirks, let's talk about why collectors are so obsessed with the 1993 D penny. Sometimes the minting process creates what we call die errors. Basically, the coin gets struck in a slightly unusual way, which can cause doubled images or weird textures. These small imperfections make each coin unique and, often, very valuable. It's like having a limited edition action figure. The rarer the flaw, the higher the price collectors will pay. And here's something that always cracks me up. I once saw a collector at a coin show get into a heated debate over whether a tiny scratch was an authentic error, or just the coin's life story. People spend thousands, sometimes millions, arguing over millimeters. And honestly, the passion is contagious. By the end of the day, you're not just interested in the coin's value, you're invested in its story, its journey through time, and the hands it passed through before landing in yours. Another fun fact: the 1993 D penny isn't just about money. It's about connection. Holding one of these coins is like holding a tiny piece of 1993, your dad's old wallet, the year the World Wide Web was born, maybe even a few memorable pop culture moments. These coins are little bridges to the past, with the added bonus that they might make your future look pretty shiny too. Of course, I have to mention the market itself. Coins like the 1993 D are highly sought after, and auctions for top condition examples can get extremely competitive. Collectors will spend hours researching provenance, checking condition under magnification, and even consulting experts before parting with their hard-earned cash. And if you think about it, it's kind of like any hobby that gets expensive: art, vintage cars, or rare comic books. But unlike some of those, you can literally stumble across this treasure in your own home, making it one of the most exciting things about coin collecting. So, whether you're a casual collector, someone who just likes shiny things, or a full-blown coin nerd, the 1993 D Lincoln penny is worth knowing about. And even if you never own a $1 million example, learning about it opens your eyes to the hidden potential in everyday items. Who knows? That penny you've been tossing around might just be a secret fortune waiting to be discovered. Alright, my fellow treasure hunters, we've covered a lot today. We've talked about the history of the 1993 D Lincoln penny, why collectors go nuts over it, its staggering $1.8 million potential, and even shared a little story from my own life about how a simple jar of coins turned into an exciting adventure. The takeaway? Sometimes, the most ordinary things hide extraordinary value. And if you keep your eyes open, your hands steady, and your sense of humor intact, who knows, you could be the next person to discover a hidden fortune in your pocket change. Before you go, I have one last thing to ask. If you love finding out about coins worth more than most people's cars, learning the secrets of minting quirks, or just want to laugh at my obsessive coin jar adventures, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. We're going to uncover more coins, more stories, and more strategies to spot hidden treasures that could change your life.